So Tales of 85 is supposed to be the next chapter of what would be Stranger Things. Or is it? I'm gonna make one thing clear and say I am not excited for what Tales of 85 is supposed to be offering, for the fact that it's supposed to be in between Season 2 and Season 3 of Stranger Things, or the main form series of what we've known as just the Stranger Things universe. Understanding this whole concept of an animation that's trying to be the 80s style that so-and-so the Duffer Brothers said it was supposed to be, and then proceeding to try to, I don't know, try to make something canon that it isn't. You can look it up to say if it is canon or not, and it tells you, yes it is. The problem that I have with Tales of 85 as it is trying to construct something that already has set itself in stone in the Stranger Things timeline, when there's already been an entire case of Season 3 trying to not focus on if anything actually happened in between Season 2 and Season 3, but then at the same time trying to say, yes, this is totally canon, where you see monsters, or they were in the, like, what is it? They were at the lab. The whole concept of Tales of 85 is basically trying to rewrite history for what has already been set in stone. I've already said this before, but trying to go back and change things which don't technically exist in the actual official Stranger Things timeline.
They're conspiring against me. That's what you're concerned about?
Like, it's almost like Conformity Gate, but it's actually like correlated in a series that technically doesn't even do anything with the actual finale of Season 5.
Seriously?
Welcome to my world. This is
almost like Stranger Things is just trying to make money out of a series because, well, we had to come down to ending the actual series, and it would actually be better if they did a spin-off on the characters so-and-so a couple of years later, without even needing the whole aspect of monsters and that stuff. Like, it would be better to just have a spin-off based on the characters instead of trying to include the monsters and that stuff. Or just, I don't know, have like an epilogue that actually goes in a couple of years later on some of the characters, on what happens to them. This is not the never-ending story that we were given in Stranger Things. In fact, Stranger Things in itself has always been a great series up to Season 5, and I considered the first half to be a really good season, and then it just basically went off the rails after Volume 2. It's unfortunate to see them trying to make money off of a past story that should have just been, like, it should have just not even been talked about at all, especially if you're trying to rewrite history as it is. Like, what's the point of doing something if it was going to mean that you were going to just turn back and just say, oh, this thing happened in between Season 2 and Season 3, or something like that. I'd rather know what exactly happened in the 18 months between Season 4 and Season 5, and then also Season 5 and the epilogue. Like, what happened in between those 18-month gaps? Like, nobody asked about Season 2 and Season 3. They were asking for those 18-month gaps, which, unfortunately, we're probably never going to be able to get because, well, just, they won't do it. Like, honestly, I wouldn't even be surprised if Tales of 85 actually doesn't succeed a lot. Like, there's going to be the general audience that's going to look at it and say, or the Stranger Things hard fans that are just going to be like, I cannot wait for this Tales of 85 series that's coming out. And then majority of the audience is just not going to care because, like, there's no point of watching the series if this is just something where, if this was its own spin-off on different characters and that stuff, maybe it'd be more interesting. But because it's trying to focus on the characters that we already knew, and so these things are canon now, like, nobody's gonna care. Like, nobody's gonna care. And I know there's people who are gonna be like analyzing like this whole thing, when in reality the story is already finished. The story is already finished as it is. The only real thing that this is adding on to is cluttering it so much to where it's like, oh wait, certain details in Season 3 are not going to add up with this then, or something like that, when it should just be left alone. Like, these series should just be left alone. And honestly, I'm not going to watch Tales of 85 when it comes out. Or probably not even in the sense of like, oh, I'm happy to watch it. Like, I'm going to watch it in that sense of knowing that the story is basically already formed and this is just trying to form itself in such a way where it's like, oh, it makes sense now, and it's like, no, it doesn't. It really doesn't. I guess it's also one of those things where I have to find a good series now that actually is good. At least I know iCarly is there, which I've been rewatching iCarly recently, so... But yeah, one last Byler thing to go, because, you know, it's almost the end of January. Bye!